Welcome to the realm of magic and mystery, classic horror and sci-fi. You are now entering the House of the Unusual podcast with your hosts, Eddie and Joe. Welcome all you cool ghouls and friendly fiends to the House of the Unusual podcast. I'm your host, Joe Pavlansky, and with me are always is my good buddies, Eddie, Chuck, and Cheri. What's up, everyone?
Hey, hello.
All right, man. We got an exciting show for everyone today. We are going to hit on a topic that I don't think we've ever covered in the past. And what it is food products that no longer exist. Some early memories of maybe restaurants that we remember as a kid that might not even exist anymore. And some general, food memories, I guess you'd like to say, because, food always, it's a... when we're talking about food, even now, just thinking back when I'm a kid, I could still smell some of the smells from these, these foods and these drinks and all that. So food's a very big part of our life, and there's always some good memories to go with those. So that's what our topic's going to be for today. But before we hit on that, Chuck and Cheri, what's new with you guys?
Hey, all right. Keeping busy, man. Doing a lot of shows and stuff. And Cheri's been helping me out, so it's been a lot of fun. And doing some yard work in between shows. And what about you, Cheri?
Yeah, working out, going to the gym, both of us.
All right.
Being his lovely assistant. He made my head disappear the other day.
Yeah, I'm gonna post that on the forum. There's a trick called the flaming head chest, and I had it packed away. I had this packed away literally for about 25 years, and I got it out and I used it. It really looks cool.
Awesome.
And her head, apparently it gives the illusion that it's completely gone and you can see straight through the box. It's really neat. And so I'll post that on there.
Gives me a little headache, but what are you going to do when he puts the arrow through my head?
A slight burning sensation.
Yeah. So it sounds like you guys have been getting busy and all that, and which is good. Keeping busy is always good. So has there been any more walks through graveyards or anything like that?
Yeah, we went today, right?
Well, he means no, we haven't done any videos right now, but we take daily walks as well sometimes through our cemetery locally. But because it's nice and quiet, people are dying to get in.
That's a bad one.
That's a bad joke.
That's a dad joke.
That's not funny.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Eddie, what's new over at your space of the House of the Unusual?
Well, this is kind of fun here. One is when you're talking about cemetery, I actually went inside one to do some filming for some coming events. And the other thing I wanted to say is I actually worked I'm working on a kind of nice project. It's going to be a video that's going to be about some of my chiller theater experiences. And I think it's going to do pretty well when I upload it. I think people like to see it because it's basically, instead of me showing all the celebrities and stuff, I'm kind of doing a walk around the showroom. And I've taken parts of different chiller theaters throughout the years that I've gone. And, it's pretty good. I've been working on that basically all yesterday. I worked on the video. And that's what's new in my neck of the woods, Joe.
Awesome. Good. Everyone's been keeping busy. I've been trying to keep busy myself. And it's been this time of the year, it works very, very strenuous and busy. But I'm happy we're going into fall. It's been some nice fall type weather around here in Northeast Ohio. I'm sure you guys have been getting it too, Chuck, over there in Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah, definitely. It's actually been kind of cold at night. The furnace comes on, huh?
Yeah.
I'm excited about this weather, so I absolutely love the fall, and
we do too.
Yeah. I it's like when I step outside, I'm waiting to see the leaves changing and everything, but I'm like, it's only middle of August.
I know, it's so crazy.
Hey, the only bad thing about the fall, it doesn't last long enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
I got a question. Do any of you guys notice they haven't started putting Halloween stuff yet? Like in a lot of stores, usually at the end of July, you get a lot of the animatronics and stuff.
Yeah,
This time,
there was a few places. Yeah, there was a few places that some
A
stuff.
little bit, yeah. And then of course the school stuff is out too
yeah,
for the kids.
Yeah, we've
yeah,
got a
I was
lot of
kind.
stuff here too.
I like to actually make a pit stop whenever I can in Halloween, Barnes and Noble, see if anything shows
Oh.
up there. You know,
Oh yeah.
especially in books on how to create haunted houses and stuff, which I like those, and I usually buy them. But anyway, no, there's been a lack in my part. Like Target hasn't had anything out yet, which I'm surprised, and I haven't gone to. You know, I'm sure that they already have most of it out, but it's kind of like last year. I think it started earlier.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I know our Big Lots has stuff out, and then we have a Spirit Halloween that popped up a couple weeks ago. So,
we got to check and see if ours is open yet. The one in Monroeville.
Yeah.
yeah, I think the one our one in Boardman's open. I haven't. I just drove past it and seen it a few times, but I'm not sure if it's open. I think it is, but I usually try to go in there the day after Halloween to get some of the good deals. You know, when they have the 50% off and all of that.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah, you know, Spirit Halloween is kind of like a little bit too heavy on the price thing, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I tell you what, there was a few years ago, Target had some really nice Halloween stuff. They had the Universal Monsters license, and they put out some really cool stuff. And I grabbed everything I could that was Universal Monsters, and it was the only year they had it. I think it was 2018 or 19, and they haven't had it since. I don't know why. And it, you know, and when the stuff there sold, they never replenished it. That was it.
No, they sell them whatever they got. You know, it's kind of funny, Joe, because I did the same thing, and I put it into this big, gigantic styrofoam box that came from Omaha Steak. I guess somebody got a delivery for that, and you know, I sealed it. When I opened it a couple of days ago, like probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, in my storage, you could smell the plastic. Like, I guess it's not supposed to be kept sealed, and that's like airtight. And some of that plastic emits, you know, like the different things. Like there was, if you remember, a mummy head that would talk, and that thing reaped, man. And I was through for a little while, you know.
Yeah, a lot of these places have been doing that. I started noticing, I think it was last year, I had some out during Christmas. I had some outside lights that went out and I needed to replace them. And it was like maybe a week and a half before Christmas. And I went to Big Lots and then Target, and both of them, they were completely out of lights and didn't restock anything else. So it's like when these places are out of, you know, their decorations, that's it. You know, they don't replace them until next year.
I tell you, the thing that was cool around here, guys, when the kids were younger, we used to have like a you know, like a big Halloween party for them once a year. I'd put on a spooky magic show. Cheri would cook all kind of crazy treats.
Oh, I loved it.
It was so much fun. It was great.
You know, speaking of spooky magic and stuff, Joe was mentioning a good topic for today. Joe, let's talk about that, because that's actually one of the things that I think I remember the most was around the October time when it would come around, that they would, you know, put out. And I got 3 of those food products that a lot of you are going to say, yeah.
Yeah, because definitely, you know, with Halloween and Christmas time, especially the holidays, there is a lot of food that we remember, and a lot of it we don't see anymore. So we're going to talk about some food products that no longer exist. We'll touch on maybe some restaurants that we remember that no longer exist, or that still might exist, but we have some, you know, fond memories of. And we're going to go down that lane today. So I'm going to start us off with something that I really remember from my childhood, and it probably wasn't the healthiest thing. And I'm sure Cheri, as a nurse, will be shaking her head, you know, when she hears this, because of all the sugar and caffeine it had in it. But that's Jolt Cola. You guys remember?
Oh, yes, I remember that.
That came out in the 80s. Oh, I remember getting that as a kid, and you drink, you know, my parents really never let me have it, but
I know why.
Yeah, because
you were bouncing off the walls.
Exactly. You drink one can of that and you're boom, gone. I mean, that's it, man. you take the whole for a good hour, man. You're like the road runner, and then you get that sugar crash right at the end. But Jolt Cola was great. There was another cola that came out around that time too. I think it was Coca-Cola that put it out. That it was a green can. I can't remember what it's called. Surge.
I'm not familiar with that.
Remember Surge? I think I'll have to look it up. I think it was I know that a few years ago they had put it out again. Yeah, it's called Surge Cola, and it was from the Coca-Cola company. It came out in 1996, and it was just like Jolt. It was very, very high in sugar and caffeine. And then I know that a few years ago, they reintroduced it. Let's see. So about 2018 or so, they reintroduced it at some fast food restaurants and all that. And then it was out in the stores. But it ran from initially 96, it looks like, to 2003. Came out once in 2014 and 15, and then came out in 2018 again. But Surge, had like this dark lemonade color liquid, and it was just all sugar, just like Jolt. But yeah, Jolt was one of the ones that I definitely remember. What about you guys? What's some of the maybe a drink or a snack that you remember from childhood that might not be around anymore?
Well, you know what? The only thing I want to say, it seems like foods tasted better back kids. I mean, they didn't have all these preservatives in it, fillers. Fillers. I mean, stuff just tasted better. We had several Woolworths around here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, FW Woolworths, and I tell you what, they had a neat dining area. It was like a drugstore type of thing, but it was really cool. It was very, very plain, and like the waitresses were like a classic type of a waitress type of thing, and there was balloons. And if you pop a balloon, sometimes you could win like a free banana split.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of cool.
I remember that.
Yeah, that goes back to like the late 60s, late 60s, early 70s.
It was fun.
Before your time there, Joe. But yeah, but it was kind of neat. And the one thing that stands out, which I don't know what this is, but I heard it mentioned on a Honeymooners, and I heard it mentioned on an episode of Sanford and Son, Pluto water.
What?
Yep, and I did Google this a while back. It was some type of stuff that you drank. I think laxative, and because you know what, Jackie Gleason once in a while said, I'm going to drink some Pluto water, and and if you do search that was a drink that it got discontinued in 1970 or 1971. It had some type of lithium or something in there that they deemed it was dangerous, and they discontinued it. Yeah, Pluto water. Check it out.
I never heard of that.
Never. Yep. I don't remember that either. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I got one for you guys. Okay. Of course, it was remade, but not the same. Twinkies, Hostess Twinkies.
Oh yeah.
The Twinkie went out of business for a while. They remade it. They're selling it, but right now it's not. It doesn't really taste like the original now.
No.
I would have to definitely agree with you on that one.
Same here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there was another one that was put out by Archway Cookies, and it was the old-fashioned molasses. Now they remade that again. Archway is making it, but now the same old-fashioned molasses has a little white sugary on it, has a little sugar on top, which the originals didn't have. I miss those big times. And when I do buy the remakes, everybody in my house eats it right away, and I don't get to even eat it, so it's not fun.
I tell you what, I'll have to agree. When Hostess came back with all their products, I was so excited because I love the Hostess ones, and I tried almost every one that when they came back, and none of them tasted the same whatsoever.
Yeah, that's sad.
No.
And if you notice, they were a lot smaller than the original ones, and they were higher priced too.
Yeah. You know what? If you remember, what I used to like about the Twinkies was it reminded me of Noah's Ark. The shape of the Twinkie thing, and you always had those Indian commercials with the other one. The Hostess cupcake was an Indian, and the Twinkie was like a cowboy, which kind of reminded me a little bit of Toy Story, with the cowboy there, Woody. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I do.
I'm familiar with what. Yeah.
No, but you don't remember the commercial, Joe. You might be too young for it,
No,
but
I don't.
when they always used to have Hostess Twinkies and cupcakes, and just like you would have Count Chocolate and Frankenberry, and they were always fighting over the cereal. The Twinkies would be a cowboy on a horse, and
Oh
the
yeah,
host
definitely.
Twinkie the Kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I think it was
yeah.
Twinkie.
Yeah,
And then,
you
and
threw
then
me off with Woody. I'm like, what are you talking about with Woody?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't
I
remember
said,
them ever doing a
Yeah,
commercial for
I think he
Twinkie.
had a lasso. He had a lasso, a
No.
little rope. And he
Yeah,
threw the rope.
Twinkie the Kid.
right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But it reminded me of what I'm saying, Toy Story, like the Woody thing. But
Oh,
they
okay.
always used to fight, and the Indian would say, "Hostess cupcakes, no Twinkies,"
I tell you what else was a kind of a letdown over the years, and Chuck, you guys hit on it. Things just don't taste the same. There's more chemicals and preservatives.
Yeah.
Are little Debbie cakes.
Oh yeah.
I used to love. I remember, back in the 80s, where I grew up, we had two little convenience stores, with maybe 20 feet from our house. So every once in a while, we would go. Me and my old man would go, and we'd get I'd get a brownie and a Yoo-Hoo chocolate milk drink. I don't even know if it was chocolate milk or whatever the heck Yoo-Hoo's made out of.
Yeah, who
But,
knows?
you could get a brownie for 25 cents, and I think the Yoo-Hoo was like 40 cents.
Mm-hmm,
So for under $1, you could get both of those. And I remember, man, they used to taste so good. And
oh yeah.
I even, when I was working midnights now, I would get almost every night, and that's why I put on some weight. I was getting a brownie, and they, they were, I think, 75 cents, and you got a smaller size brownie than you did when they were 25 cents.
Yeah,
And they've even gone up in price now. I think they're
Mhm.
about 29 for a brownie. That's
Oh yeah.
Well,
and most of those things have a waxy taste. The
But I tell
majority
you
of
what,
stuff.
when I stopped eating meat and dairy, I stopped eating the brownies at night, because they had dairy in it. And about 2 months into not eating them, I said, "Oh, you know what?" I said, "I could go for a brownie." I said, I just want one. I'm gonna go ahead. That's how it starts. I'm just gonna have one. So I got one, and I was so excited. I said, "Oh my god, it's gonna taste good." I took one bite into it, and I spit it out.
Yeah.
It tasted like nothing but chemicals.
That's it.
You're right.
Yeah, that's a shame.
You're right.
And I couldn't believe at how used to I was of that chemical taste. And after just 2 months of not having it, I took a bite into it, and it tasted like garbage. It was
most of these foods have a waxy aftertaste and
Yep.
chemical, and it's just nasty. I mean, I don't know.
I'm still stuck with the. I still buy Little Debbie's. What do you call those brownies? They do taste mighty well, and I mean, I still love them today. I know the waxy taste, but one thing I want to ask you guys.
I know the waxy taste.
Yeah. Did you guys ever eat? I mean, like in Halloween, they always sold those Dracula teeth with the big lips, and it was supposed to be
the wax. Yeah,
those were cool.
And I think you're supposed to like chew it afterwards or something like that.
Yep.
Horrible, man. I always used to throw them out. Wear them, buy them.
I like the wax ones that had the juice in them.
Yeah, those were neat.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know I don't think they make those anymore. They used to be like
no. They make them.
Do they?
They make them, but it's like $4 for like 12 of them.
Oh
yeah.
They're
really good.
I love getting those.
Were like plastic wax bottles almost, Joe.
Yeah.
We used to get, remember the all this penny candy? You could get man. You could really rack it up with a buck.
I still buy those waxy ones. They sell them in Party City almost year round.
Oh,
you know something? I'm going to tell you guys something. When you're talking about, you remember those candies? I don't know what they were called, but they were like on a paper, and they looked like little
Yes.
drops, and they were red, pink.
Yes.
Oh, I do remember those. Yeah.
Yep, you peel them off and chew them up.
Yeah. All different
Yeah.
colors, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And
with
you
the
always take
paper
the
still stuck to them.
yeah. You
Yeah.
always take the paper, no matter how much you cleaned it.
I think they were like dip
Yeah.
spots or something like
I
that.
forgot about those. I haven't thought about those in 50 years.
And I like those little necklaces. You used to wear them, and then you chew the candy off of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
the candy necklaces. Yeah.
And the lipsticks. I don't know if you guys.
I was just talking with someone the other day about remember Fun Dips?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, I used to love Fun Dips. I never ate the sugar. I always liked the sticks, the white chalky sticks. I was just talking to a buddy. We were in Rite Aid. I said, man, I wonder if they ever, he was looking at some of the candies. I said, I wonder if they still make Fun Dips. He goes, yeah, they're right here. And I was like, holy crap.
Isn't
And
it
they were
amazing?
expensive. You get like 2 powder things and 2 sticks, and I think it was, I don't know, close to $2. I'm like, this used to be, a quarter, and you'd get 3 pouches and 2 sticks.
Oh, I know the prices on these things. Hey,
Yeah.
how about the one thing I used to do when I was a kid? It come in a little tier packet. It was Razzles. Can you remember Razzles?
Yes, I do.
Razzles? No, I don't remember Razzles.
Yeah.
What didn't it turn into gum?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like round little. They were all different colors, and it came in like a little packet that you ripped open, and you chewed them. And it turned into like a gum. It was called Razzles, Razzles. They were
Yeah.
really good.
There's a company named Razzles, I think, and they sell like custom made T-shirts and all that
okay.
stuff. Yeah, but it's funny that you said that, because there's another thing. You guys remember little Orbits that you would buy,
yeah.
and they give it to you with the straw?
Yep.
And then I used to eat but the other thing that was also good are lemon heads, still made today.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I'll still get a little box of those once in a while. Those are good. Those are really good.
Lemon heads are phenomenal, man.
Yeah, and dots. I always like dots too.
I tell you what, something I just found when I was typing in to see what foods and snacks are no longer made, and this was one of my favorites when I would get them in my school lunches, a little pack, and they were Shark Bites, the chewy fruit snack.
Oh, I remember those. Yep.
Oh, I used to love Shark Bites, man. You'd have the different flavors, and then there was the white flavored one, and you'd have like a multi-flavored one. I used to love Shark Bites, man.
Yeah, those are really good. And you know what? There was a little convenience store that would sell, particularly like on a Sunday, that have glazed donuts. I remember back when I was a kid, and those things were phenomenal.
And they were cheap too.
They were a dime or maybe a dime, and that's the way a donut should taste. This stuff nowadays, you eat a couple.
What you're getting?
Yeah, you eat a couple donuts, you don't feel good.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I haven't had a donut in almost 5 years, and I do not miss them.
No, you're not missing it, because we had a couple not long ago, and I wasn't feeling good.
Yep.
I said, I feel.
I was just talking to somebody about. We were talking about maple. We were just talking about cream sticks, and he goes, I love chocolate cream sticks. I said, I used to love the maple ones. I said, but you eat one of them and then you feel like garbage after you.
You do.
Yeah.
What's those things you used to like, Cheri? Those things would drive you crazy.
Yeah, they are. I think it was the vanilla cream sticks.
Is the vanilla cream
sticks?
Yeah. I think it was by Nichols Bakery.
Yeah.
And
those are good.
And
I haven't eaten those in years.
No, but back a few years ago, she got 2 packages of them.
No.
Well,
he's gonna kiss and tell.
Cheri, he's outing you on your stuff.
Went upstairs to the bedroom, made both packages, and
I did not eat all of them.
And slept for 2 days. I said, Cheri, did you save me any of those? She goes, no. I said, you ate 2 packages.
I did not eat all of them.
It was all bottled. It was just a bottle. It was ridiculous.
I tell you what, we have a White House farm. It's called White House Farms near here, and they make these homemade donuts that are fantastic. So they have this blueberry one there, and everybody knows about the blueberry donuts around here from White House Farms. That's and nice. If you guys ever get a chance, White House Fruit Farms, go there. You have to get there early in the morning because they sell out of the blueberry quick. So we went there this was probably 8 years ago or so. And I told my wife, I said, all I want is one blueberry donut. That's it. I said, I just want blueberry donuts. She wanted to get some other food and all that there, because they have like a small little store on the farm with their jarred jams and whatever else.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So we went there and they had 4 blueberry donuts left. I said, I want all 4 of them. I said, I'm taking them home. I said, I'll take one to work tonight. I said, I'll eat one in the morning. So we're walking through the store and I could smell them. You know, that donut smell is just, hitting, your olfactory senses, and my mouth was watering. I said, I'm gonna take a bite of just one, because I can't take it anymore. I had to succumb to the pull of the donut in there. So by the time we get up, we're walking around the store. By the time we get up to the register, I hand the lady the box to check it out, and she goes,
"Where is it?
There's nothing in here." She goes, "You ate all 4 donuts?" I couldn't help myself. We were walking around. Goes, I didn't even see you eat them. I think one bite, for each of them I just shoved it in my mouth and massaged my throat a little bit to get them down, and that was it.
Holy smokes.
You're my kind of guy, Joe.
I'm telling you, if you're in Northeast Ohio, White House Fruit Farms.
Oh, we'll keep that in mind. White
Definitely.
House. Okay.
They're blueberry, and they have tons of different donuts, and they're all fantastic. But they're known for their blueberry. But you have to get there like right when they open because people stand in line to buy as many as they can. Yeah.
When you're talking about that, Joe, something kind of happened not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. When I went years ago, I was training for Lowe's while I was working for Lowe's Home Center. And I actually went to Philadelphia, and they kept me there like for a week. And there's a steakhouse called Jim's Steakhouse there. And it's, I think, the original steakhouse sandwich or something like that. Philadelphia cheesesteak is what it is, what they make. And it was so good that I had it for lunch and dinner for 5 consecutive days.
Wow.
And it's crazy. But one of my favorite things when you talk about donuts is you buy Dunkin' Donuts. I buy usually 2 vanilla frosted, 2 chocolate frosted, and 2 strawberry frosted. And you leave them over your kitchen table overnight. When they get hard and stale in the morning, you slice them into little slices. And you eat them with milk. Oh my gosh, man!
They would never make it that long.
They'd never make it.
They wouldn't even get home.
They wouldn't even get home. We're such gluttons.
I tell you what, everyone out there listening to us is like they're probably just raiding their refrigerator now and saying, "Hey, we got to make a donut run. Put this on top."
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm starting to get hungry.
Every once in a while, I get a craving for a donut or something. But
and tell them about Oakmont Bakery.
Yeah, we have a bakery around here called
Punchki's?
Oakmont Bakery, and they make a punchki. That's a Polish. Well, you might know about that. It's a Polish type of thing. Like it's
filled with different things.
Yeah, like it's almost like a glazed round thing.
Yeah.
It's glazed, and inside they have different fruits. Like you could get one blueberry, you could get the vanilla cream, you could get prune. I mean, they're so good. Custard.
Like
oh my goodness. So I did exactly what what you're saying. I bought them in line. I sat down and I was just shoving the vanilla cream one in my mouth. I had the cream all over my beard and everything. And Cheri was disgusted. And
I tell you what, my Patsky donuts, I love. I used to love the ones that were filled with like a lemon meringue.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yep,
those. I must have said it wrong. It's
they're Patsky.
Okay,
Patsky. You said it's like PACZ.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
AI, something like that. Yeah. But the lemon meringue ones were always my favorite.
Lemon. We love lemon. That's a good time.
Those are good.
Okay. What about you guys? Do you remember? Do you remember those things they sell, especially around Christmas time, which they're like molasses or gingerbread cookies, and they got the white sugar around it, like the glazed white sugar?
Oh,
you know what
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Those are good. Yeah, they're real good.
I can eat a whole bag of that, Joe.
Yeah.
You know which I'm talking about, Joe?
I think so. Yeah, it's like a light glaze on it.
No. It's white. It's like the white powdered sugar glazed over it. So it's in the center. It has like molasses taste.
Yeah,
and then the outside they're round. They're like little balls, and the outside is just like a white glaze. I don't think I know what those are.
I don't think I do either.
I'm gonna have to send you guys a photo. You know what I'm talking about, Chuck, right?
Explain I believe I do. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's an Italian pastry or something. But
that
sounds familiar. I think my aunt used to make those.
Yeah, they sell them mostly in the Christmas season and stuff like that. But you know what? The problem with any of that stuff is, like you said, the sugar content. Now, a lot of people that remember this or go back to the '60s are gonna know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, especially when you went to Woolworth, you were able to buy what was called soda pops or soda fountains.
Yeah,
And
right.
what the thing my favorite was vanilla egg cream. They made vanilla egg cream and
Oh, I remember
chocolate egg
those.
cream.
Yeah,
And the way that's really actually made is, let's say you go to Amazon and you buy a gallon of vanilla syrup. Okay, you have to use vanilla syrup, and then you put like probably in a glass, a tall glass, you would put about, I would say a quarter of the glass in the bottom would be syrup or a little less, a
right.
little dip of milk, and then you put seltzer water and spin it around.
Yep.
And whatever the type of the syrup, chocolate or vanilla, it's phenomenal. I mean, I can drink. The only thing that put a little pause on me was a couple of months ago, I went on Amazon and purchased the vanilla syrup. But I noticed they were asking for like almost $30 for a gallon.
Oh
And
my
that's
goodness,
a lot of money. So
that's
I
too much.
bought it is. I bought a little bottle that you're supposed to add to a gallon of water. So when I get the concentrated vanilla thing, it says put in a 5 pound, ready for this? A 5 pound sugar bag into
Oh,
the gallon of water and then put the thing in it as well and stir it. And I'm like, is that how much sugar the darn
oh my
syrup
God.
has?
You're
Whoa.
I
gonna
said,
turn
that's
into a
crazy.
diabetic.
Yeah,
Right. So, but you know what's close to the taste? Cream soda. If you guys ever had,
Oh,
especially,
those are
Oh,
good.
I love cream
Yeah,
soda.
I love
Yeah.
cream soda.
that's what vanilla cream tastes like, except it's not as little creamy. It's a little more like, without too much of the cream taste. But that's what vanilla syrup or vanilla egg cream, which was, I mean, every type of restaurant in the '50s and '60s, even '70s had that.
Oh
And when I
yeah.
was a kid, I came out of school like in lunchtime, and I would get for 25 cents, I get a toast with butter, and for another 25 or 35 cents for the large one, I get a vanilla egg cream, and I
Oh
have
yeah.
that every day for lunch. It
I
was
love to see.
phenomenal.
You know what? I love to see these old movies when when they scan by like the menu hanging up on the wall. It'll say like egg cream 10 cents, hamburger 15 cents. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Speaking of that, remember that Twilight Zone
Which one?
with William Shatner? Who
Yeah.
was the girl? The one where they have the fortune teller.
Yeah, the fortune teller on top of that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
that's
did you remember they were drinking iced coffee?
yeah.
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
they were drinking iced coffee. They drank it black though.
Mhm.
So we go, oh, let's give that a try. And here Dunkin' Donuts, has iced coffee.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Oh,
like
I
it.
love iced coffee.
Yeah.
I love that episode of Twilight Zone. That's called Nick of Time.
That's
It's
it.
Right,
really
right.
good.
Nick of Time.
Yeah.
Actually, that episode, talking about the Twilight Zone, I actually, one time I went with Jim to Chiller Theater, and I noticed they were selling like the miniature machine of Nick of Time.
Those are so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like a little devil type thing?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a double bobblehead, and so when you put the penny in, you push down the lever, out would come a little cardboard prediction type of thing.
Yeah. They were getting addicted to it.
Yeah, they
was
were
getting
addicted to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Nick of Time, they actually made a reproduction of the machine a couple of years ago.
That would be
They were
cool.
selling at the time for like $80, $100.
That's not too bad.
What the heck? So I went on Etsy and some guy was making duplicates of them, and I tried to purchase one about a year ago, and it was like $130. So I paid for it, and I'm like waiting. A month goes by, and my order still hasn't been made. Then I realized the guy said when you purchase it, it's handmade, and it takes 2 months for him to make it.
Oh,
And I'm
I
like,
see.
why does it say one available? And he said, well, that's the only way that they can list it is it says one available, but it just means that, that he's going to make it after. So I kind of canceled it and got my money back. It was just like
that would be
empty
cool having one of those. That would be so neat. Wow.
Well, you have
No,
I was going to say, Chuck, don't you have a head like that you do in one of your magic
Yeah,
tricks?
I bought a bobblehead of that kind of demon with his horns, and I stuck it on an old cigarette dispenser. Like it's like a round like rounded edges, chrome type of thing. So it looks just like it, but it's an old cigarette dispenser, I guess, that someone had in their on their bar or something back in the 50s, and you just push down the lever. So I kind of attached that bobblehead to it, yeah, and I made a little a little video. Well, kind of looked like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. So
I tell you what really, speaking of like, sugary drinks and ices and all that, is the only place that I ever remember getting an icy from that I enjoyed, and might be the only place I've ever gotten it before. And right now, just thinking about it, I could smell the popcorn, I could smell the hot dogs, I could smell the ices. And Chuck and Cheri might know because I don't think Eddie would, because they didn't have this store out in Jersey. It was only in a few on the East Coast. But do you guys remember Hill's department store?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. You're right about the popcorn. That smelled so good going in there. You're right.
Right when you walked in, you could smell the popcorn, the hot dogs, the ices, and it was. I could smell it right now.
I could smell it right now. You know what? That was a good store. They had quality stuff in there.
We miss it.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. Yeah. It was a nice store.
Oh, I loved Hill's, but man, we would go in and get a small popcorn, a hot dog, and icy just about every time. We had one less than a half mile from where we were. About a mile from where we lived.
For some reason, you're right. The popcorn really resonated it in there, and I think they also sold like roasted cashews or something, if I'm not mistaken. You could get a bag of hot cashews.
Ooh, when you guys are talking about stores like that, it's kind of like that store Hills. I heard of it when I was young. I never saw it. But let's be honest, there were like 100 Woolworth, FW Woolworth everywhere. And you would always hear Woolworth and Woolco. Yet I never saw a Woolco store, and I always wanted to go to Woolco for some reason. And I don't think there was any in the East Coast.
No, I never saw Woolco. No, but you're right. It did advertise,
There is, because there is Woolco, because if you see at old photographs, you'll see them, and they were. So it was, I guess, probably in the West Coast. Did you ever see one, Joe?
On the West Coast.
I've never even heard of the Wilco stores.
No, I haven't either.
And then we had Murphy's over here, GC Murphy's.
GC Murphy's.
That was pretty popular.
It was like Woolworths.
It was similar to Woolworths. Yeah.
Yeah. See, the whole thing is that what you guys kind of remember, and a lot of people forget, is that, and you know what, I'm going to bring you back when you're talking about foods and stuff. Back in the 70s, and we all know this, cereals made most of their money by selling the price inside. And I think that one of the founders of that was Cracker Jack, where they initiated had the price inside, and everybody would just, you didn't care about the good, you price. And in my case, I hated Cracker Jacks, but I would buy the box and I stick my finger in and get the price and then throw out the Cracker Jack. And it was kind of funny because my grandmother always fell for it. I always tell Mom, I need to do this because it's for a project for school. And I don't know how she used to believe me. One day I decided I wanted to build a solar system game, like a space game, and I needed 10 balls. One was supposed to be the sun, and then the other ones were all 9 different planets, right?
Yeah.
So I go there and I tell them the project, right? So she's buying me all the Spalding balls, and the lady in the store used to work with my aunt, and the lady would tell my grandmother, "Do you believe what he's telling you?" And I was like, why is she saying that, Why is she destroying me, But
that's funny you brought that up, Eddie, because a couple of weeks ago I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we were talking about Cracker Jack toys. And I said, today now it's just they have little stickers in.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, rub-on tattoos. I said, now back in the 80s, I said, I remember they actually had like plastic toys in there, and every once in a while you'd be disappointed with a sticker or a tattoo. Well, he was telling me back in like the 20s and 30s, they actually had little metal prizes in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I looked it up online. I'm like, oh my gosh, they had like
that was cars. Back when Cheri was a little girl.
No. I have one of those metal toys. It's true, Joe. But you know something too?
And they're very collectible too. They go for good prices on eBay.
I bet.
You know what you guys forget though, and what I was going to mention is with the cereal boxes, which I mentioned the Cracker Jack because Cracker Jack was, I guess, the forefather of all those stuff. They were like the very first ones. But in the 1970s, I think post Honeycomb, started introducing these records, Halloween record sound effects.
Oh, I remember those.
I remember that.
Yeah, and there's
Yep.
like 6 different versions. Here's the
Mhm.
funny thing, though. Tell you that for years and years, I've looked for a complete box. I mean, they sell the records themselves that people actually cut out, and they sell them for like $20, $30 a record on eBay.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
seen them
Yeah.
a bunch of times. But a complete box with the record still attached is as rare as the robot plants.
Is
They're
it?
very hard
Oh,
to come by.
wow.
Take a drink.
Wow.
Hey,
Oh,
figure
no.
it.
So you're going to add that to your list there, Eddie, huh?
No. I actually, what happened is I contacted the archives of Post back in the 80s, and they have one in their archives, but they don't sell it. And I asked the guy to give me a full color copy of it, and he scanned it, and I do have of 2 different boxes the full color copy. What I would love to do one day, and I don't think it's that expensive, is to do a mock-up, make an exact reproduction of the box, and just to have it for my record. Because I mean, that was such a, when
Yeah.
you got that record in the back, I mean, to me, that was my favorite different boxes. And then, a lot of people don't realize that back in the day when Blueberry was available, and you always saw the commercial with Count Chocolate and Frankenberry, and then
Yeah.
no Blueberry. Blueberry was very hard to come by. Like when you came across a box of Blueberry, it usually was either more the West Coast or the Middle Central America, but sometimes the East Coast would never have about it. I remember trying to get a hold of one in the early 80s and calling Post, or I mean General Mills, and they told me that in California. So I started calling different supermarkets in California to see if they had boxes. And let me tell you something, I was never able to get one. So one day I'm driving up from Florida in the early 80s, and I stopped in, I think it's called Food Lion in South Carolina. And lo and behold, I saw, and I bought like 3 or 4 boxes of Blueberry. Because I was like, I like Blueberry. That was my favorite character of the 3,
Yeah, that was neat.
And
that's something.
That was cool. Hey, Joe, not to change the subject here, but we did our homework. We watched Logan's Run.
And did Cheri watch it too this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually rented it because we didn't have it on. We couldn't find it anywhere.
We couldn't find it for free, so yeah it costed
$2.99. Yeah,
$2.99. But
it was worth it, I guess.
It was, what, brought back memories. That was, the
Did
thing.
Did you see it before?
Yeah, I saw it when I was about 13, 14 years old. The thing that stood out, I love the city. I love the city of tomorrow that they lived in. I mean, that was just so cool.
And the robot was pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, the silver robot, the stainless steel robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird movie, and it was kind of, made you think, what would you do if that was, if that was you? And it shows like how easy, some people are manipulated to think a certain way without, questioning.
Oh yeah,
and then you get terminated when you turn. My son, he's going to be 30 next month.
Yeah,
it's like, oh my gosh,
you know what?
He hardly lived.
Yeah, would all be
all be gone.
Yeah, would all be rubbed out.
Oh my gosh,
would be would be the Peter Ustinov.
I wonder if
the women would be touching our faces.
No, I wonder if that's the one with Justin Timberlake. If they actually took the idea from Logan's Run, because like I told you guys about 2 weeks ago, it was such a similar item or movie. But Logan's Run, I watched it such a long time ago. I'm trying to kind of remember a little bit on it. I was not able to follow up on the assignment on that. But what part did Farrah Fawcett Majors play in? Remember,
she worked in the place where you would go to get your face redone. I tell you what, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. I wouldn't mind that. But
reconstructed, but everything went haywire. Yeah, and then what happened? It just like blew up or something.
Yeah, she was the attendant that worked in there, and so Michael York was going to get a new face, and so she said, make sure you get dark hair, and so he goes, okay. And then
something happened where it went haywire, and
there was an explosion or something.
Yeah,
right, Joe? Is that what happened there?
It's been such a long time since I've seen it. It's maybe about 10 years.
Wait a minute.
Watch it.
Wait a minute. I thought you gave the assignment.
I gave the assignment, but I haven't watched it. In a while.
Wait,
I have it on DVD, but I haven't watched it in a while.
Oh my goodness.
is this like the teacher that tells you to do
Nobody says
homework?
the teacher has to do the homework.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not bringing an apple to you. No teacher. That's a terrible teacher. Oh my
No more.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean,
I have it on DVD, and I haven't. It's been probably about 8 years since I've seen it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love
It's been a while.
off in there at the
That
end.
was pretty cool.
Yeah,
he was a character.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. He was pretty neat, and
Yeah.
and like the people were stunned that he was so old. They were like touching his face. They said, "Look, he's old."
And then he had a whole new family, and they were all young people, and
Yeah, it was cool.
everything was happy.
Yeah. I like the futuristic theme to it. I mean, that was just such a cool city.
okay.
I know.
Wow.
I have a question, though. I have a question. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but Joe, did you watch Ex Machina? I think you said you didn't watch it yet.
No, I didn't. I told you it's this time. It's tough to find time to watch stuff around this time of year because of work, and I haven't had a chance to watch anything.
Okay, we forgive you.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm so far behind on watching and reading stuff, and I even got a article that's due soon for Scary Monsters. I haven't even got a chance to start that yet. So
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
so far behind.
That makes us feel
Well,
better.
Joe, Mr. Crypt of Classics, the movie guy. Well, anyway, I have a question. Why don't we do soon a topic about sci-fi films that were obscure, meaning they were good, but not too many people mentioned them? We should do that next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do it, but I won't have really time to watch anything for a couple more weeks, as it's like I said, it's everything slows down about the first week of September for me, because now we got to do a lot of side jobs, and you have the football games and everything on Friday and Saturdays during the days, and it's just my days off are pretty much gone.
Yeah, understandable.
So, yeah, I do have Ex Machina. That is something that I definitely want to watch because I've heard a lot about it. Some people love it and some people hate it, but I definitely want to see it because it is a sci-fi movie, and I want to see if if I'm gonna like it or not like it, or maybe somewhere in between. And I'm always fascinated, especially the way AI is going now, where it's seeming like, there was that article with Google where it seems like there's some sentient AI. So I kind of want to see where this movie goes. And Logan Run is definitely a movie I'd like to revisit. And I think when I watch it the next time, I think I have audio commentary on the DVD. So I think I'm going to watch it that way.
Yeah.
So you're going to read the cliff notes in the book instead of reading the book.
Yeah, that's what I should have just read the clip.
Bad teacher.
Yeah, I won't have a chance to watch nothing until probably around September, and that's the way this time of the year goes.
September's 2 weeks away. But I was going to tell you, though, some people say when they talk about sci-fi, my buddy Jim mentioned to me that his friend said that the best movie in sci-fi he's ever watched is Jason and the Argonauts. And you know what?
That's cool.
It's kind of hard not to say it is. I mean, I wouldn't call it the best because I know Jim and me and Chuck believe that The Day the Earth Stood Still is one of the best. And I know Joe and my buddy Jim tend to have the same taste, and they didn't put that as number one. And The Day the Earth Stood Still is still my opinion.
Yeah, I love Gort.
Let's watch that.
That's a good
Joe,
movie.
you don't have a strong feeling about it like me and Chuck do?
I liked it, but I don't. It's not definitely not one of my favorites.
Yeah, you can watch it. Watch it.
Yeah, I mean it is good, but
The Day the Earth.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about your sci-fi stuff maybe in a few weeks when I get a chance to actually watch some different stuff. Because I actually have this box set. It's really cool, and it has a robot, a metal robot in it, and I think there's 6 DVDs in it of like very obscure 1950s sci-fi movies. I'd really like to dig into that and check them out because they look really bad, but probably really good. So
I'm telling you,
those and talk about them.
Joe, there's one I think in that old black and white. I think it's called the something Mr. X. You should check it out. I mean, it's really badly done, man. It's like so washed out in white that you can't even sometimes in parts see the character because it's like a really cheap black and white. But the movie is kind of good. It was where an alien comes in the form of a human or overtakes a human, but it's really kind of like an interesting film. I enjoyed it.
Is it from the 50s?
I think it's like early 40s, late early 50s, something like that. I got him in what do they call this place? Not Suncoast Video, but the other video place that FYE, I think it is FYI.
Oh yeah, FYI,
Yeah.
FYE, yeah.
When they were going out, there was a store in upstate New York that was going out, and upstate, I'm saying, just north of close by the bridge in my area. And when it was going out, I purchased a box set for like $10. They had 100 DVDs of horror thing, like there was a mystery one, or horror. I purchased actually both, and it's in that lot. So and one film in particular that I know is kind of corny, and I think I mentioned it before that you guys I think would enjoy is from Came, which is basically a tree called Tower Bunga or something like that, and the tree kind of comes to life. But it's a good film. And the other one is, which of course a lot of people are gonna know by the name, but I don't know how many people actually watch it. Was Curse of the Demon. That's a pretty good film too.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite films, and that the ending is
it's really cool.
Frightening. I know we've talked about it before, but you know, for our movie of the week now, because Cheri, you said you've never seen The Day the Earth Stood Still, the original.
No.
Okay, so we're gonna make that our movie for the week. So if anybody hasn't revisited it or hasn't seen it, you know, check it out. Don't watch the 2008 remake. It's
terrible.
It's terrible. Do yourself a favor, watch the original one. It's from 1951, and it's based on the story Farewell to the Masters by Harry Bates. It was a 1940 story that was in a Astounding Science Fiction magazine. And you might actually find The Day the Earth Stood Still in some other titles, which are lesser known, but you know they might have been from another country if you find it on DVD or VHS secondhand. And it would be Farewell to the Master or Journey to the World.
Right.
You see them under those titles. It's the same movie, just might have been from another country if you find it, you know, secondhand. But Day the Earth Stood Still. It has Michael Rainey, Patricia Neal, Hugh Marlowe, Sam Jaffe, Billy Gray, Francis Bavier, and Locke Martin. It's a great movie. Not that long, only 92 minutes.
Yeah, very good movie.
You'll definitely enjoy it.
I love it so much that I'm going to actually do that, Joe. I'm going to follow your week's assignment on that because that film, in my opinion, I know whatever you're saying, but I still think it's one of my. And you know what? If people like the film,
it's definitely a good movie. I'm not saying that it's a classic. I recommend everybody at least see it once.
At least see it once.
Do yourself a favor too. Search the film online under the images and check out the poster because the poster is absolutely fantastic of Gort with the laser, you know, holding the girl with the laser coming out of his eye, and the one like is the one in the background. It has the Earth with the like the Martian hand over it.
Well, you know how you say cool. You know how they say the one we were talking about last week with Ray Harryhausen. You know the what was it? Earth versus the flying? No, Earth versus the flying saucer. Or what was the?
Yeah.
Okay, it kind of has the same theme with the flying saucer that kind of looks like that. I compare the two in the sense that it kind of has the same type of thing. But one thing I want to tell you guys that I almost forgot: Jim, my friend, actually met Ray a few years ago, right before he died, in one of the conventions. He drove I think to the Pittsburgh. I forgot where he drove to. To actually see him, and he told me that he was a pretty nice guy, so he did get an autograph of him. And I was gonna say, wow, man, I wish I would have known.
I'll tell you what, he was beyond creative. I mean, he's in his own category. That guy was he was unreal.
That's a God-given talent.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, hey guys, we got about 6 minutes here, and I want to do a little quick round robin here, and I would like you guys to answer this. I'm interested to hear if you could go back into time to some place in your lifetime that you remember of a place that you like to eat or certain thing that you wanted to eat that's nowhere around, what would it be? Some of the things that I kind of think about is Ponderosa Buffet, not the new ones, but the ones from the 80s when they had the great chicken wings and all that there, or something like that. So Chuck and Cheri, what's if you could go back into time to some restaurant or something, and it might even be for the simple reason of, hey, the prices were cheaper then.
Yeah.
But what would you guys do? Where would you go?
I tell you what, I'm kind of strange.
Yeah.
You know,
We knew that.
yeah, which I don't think is a big secret, but I tell you what, I love classic literature and stuff like that. I would go back to the 1920s in
Baby, he's talking about in your lifetime.
I know, lifetime, but I'd go back before that, to like Paris.
Where nick of time and have a iced
yeah,
coffee.
where all the great writers went and stuff like that. The only bad thing is there's no antibiotics, so if you get sick, you're done.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back to, let's see, is it the 70s? And my favorite restaurant at that time was McDonald's. Big Mac, French fries, and a Coke, and they all tasted phenomenal.
That was when it was good. Yeah.
That's when when a Coke tastes like a Coke, and oh my gosh, and the hamburgers were good, and they didn't have stuff in it. It was just so yummy.
All right, Eddie, what about you? What do you got?
I got two shots. I like the McDonald's, and what I remember mostly about McDonald's is you always got those little free hand puppets. And I mean, to go to McDonald's in the 70s, my favorite year, I would say, would be between 1973 and 1976. Those were the glory days of mail order. That's the time when I ordered my Ghost. That's the time where I missed my robot plans, man. And I would love, but my favorite, I got to tell you, is the Woolworth, FW Woolworth. I used to love, even when I met my wife, there was one across the street. And
we're talking about food. You can't eat Woolworths.
Well, no, excuse me. I'm talking about the little diner that Woolworth had inside. Yeah. And I always went there. You know what I used to have? Fish and chips. I always had fish and chips. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I don't remember. See, I don't know if we had Woolworths around here, so I don't think I remember it.
That was a cool place.
So they used to have a little diner inside the Woolworths.
It's a 5 and dime.
Yeah, it was what you called a 5 and dime.
Yep, that's what they called it.
Yep.
Right. And it was a soda of like a soda pop place. Yeah, yep. Soda fountain. And it was phenomenal. And I'll either have scrambled eggs, whatever it was. But they had a fish and chip. It was like, I think, $2.95 for the whole thing. And it kind of takes, because if everybody, not too many people remember it anymore, Arthur Trish's fish and chips.
Oh,
is one of the greatest.
Those were good.
Time. And I'll tell you guys something. Right after this show, I am going to leave. And I'm going to go to the only one that's left in New Jersey. And I'm going to have myself 6 fish. I tell them I just want the fish. I don't want the fries. And I love Arthur Trish's fish and chips.
Yeah, those are so good.
With the malt liquor, with the malt vinegar.
The malt vinegar, yeah.
No,
I tell you what, if I could go back, I think I would have to walk into Hills and get me a popcorn, a hot dog, and an icy. That would be my one time. And it'd have to be during the 80s too, because they had a lot of cool G.I. Joe and Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, they did.
I'd have to pick them up.
Yes.
Hey guys, we got about 2 minutes here. So guys, I want to thank you all for joining us. Everybody out there, thank you for joining us. Hey, don't forget, go over to mymoviemonsters.com. Issue number 127, the Island Ghouls issue, is out in stores and it's shipping now. And issue number 128, which is all about horror hosts, it is on the site. Find it there. Also, check out houseoftheunusual.com. That is our flagship site, man. A lot of cool stuff going over there. We have a forum with a lot of good topics and conversations, a lot of good photos and all that too. So check that out. We're also on YouTube, House of the Unusual. Put it in the search. Chuck and Eddie are always putting out some great videos. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And guys, you could catch us every week. We put out a new podcast on Thursdays on whatever your favorite podcast platform is. Just, take a search for us and you'll be able to find us, man, and subscribe to our channel. Give us a good review. But Hey, Chuck, Eddie, Cheri, guys, thanks for joining us once again. This has been a great conversation. I'm sure a lot of people out there are pissed at us now because they're really hungry. With all the food that we talked about, I know I'm getting hungry. So, guys, that's all we got for tonight. So, thank you for joining us, and good night.
Okay, good night. God bless.
Have a blessed week.